this is going to be the last Sangha before we reconvene in probably in Vasant Ritu, right? So I'm going to give you recipes that would help you during Hemant and Shishir Ritu, so the next 4 months. As Abhijit said, that the next 15 days or so are going to be the transition period where you move on from Shishir Ritu. Actually, you slowly try to cut down on the Sharad Ritu recipes and start building up on Hemant.
Can you speak
You
the
can-
English seasons? Many new people are here.
Okay, so taper down on the fall, we call it the fall season recipes, and start building it on early winter and winter recipe. It should not be a shock that, okay, November 15th is winter, so I start eating everything from then and continue to eat what's for fall up to that time. So it has to be a gradual, smooth process. 2 recipes I'm going to show you today. One is urad dal. Urad is one of the few lentils that is hard.
Melissa, you want to pass out some urad?
Is it too high? Maybe I- So urad dal comes in 4 types. One is whole, then you have split, and with or without husk. This one is split urad dal without the husk. Maneswari will show you a sample of it. Urad dal is sweet and heavy, so you can imagine it will be helpful in the winter season when cooked with proper spices and ghee. We've also created a blend of spices for you guys. It's Hemant Ritu. You can use it in Hemant and Shishir both, actually early winters and later part of the winter. And we of course have our good old ghee that you can always should use for cooking. So, starting with, I think it's too close.
Yeah, I think we need to. No.
Just not happy. It usually doesn't do that. It's probably in the Sandhi period too. Urad dal is known as the common man's meat. The Sanskrit name for it is mash, which comes close to mas, which is meat. So you can also correlate it as a vegetarian's meat. Urad dal, this recipe is a 2-step process. One, we will cook the onions in ghee and cumin and hing. And the second part is cooking the urad dal by itself. So we'll get the process started, and in the interim we'll switch over to the milk recipe, almond milk recipe that I'm going to show you. So first things first, I always recommend using a pressure cooker just because it makes cooking so much faster and easier. And those of you who think it's a time-taking process, it actually cuts down a lot of your time. So we've soaked this urad dal for about 5-6 hours, actually more than that. Ideally, you would soak it overnight and then use it. For this particular recipe, you just need enough water, really enough to cover the dal, as you can see. So this is part one of the process. I'm just taking all the dal and water. You have to rinse the dal first and then let it soak. And to this, I'm going to add salt. What kind of salt do we use here? Himalayan rock salt. It's available at Berkeley Bowl. It's available in bulk at Berkeley Bowl. You can also get small bottles at Trader Joe's, but that's not as cost effective. So we added salt here and turmeric. And then we'll pressure cook it. When you pressure cook it, the pressure builds up and it releases steam and it makes big noise. So should we have it here or have it cook inside?
How many whistles?
Depending, if you soaked it enough, 2 should be okay, because we're trying to make it, we're not trying to lose this texture of the dal in this case.
Can you remind us of the ratio of water that when you put your finger?
Yeah, in this case, because we're trying to make it a little drier version with the texture intact, we didn't put too much water, just enough to cover the level of the dal. And Manasvi, can you take it inside and do 2 whistles? Now we come to part 2 of the recipe. Clean, dry pot to start with. I use Vedika's home cooked ghee, which is available here for sale. Oh, by the way, I'm making another recipe of urad dal that you will get to taste for the potluck. These 2 are different recipes, but you feel the difference when you taste this compared to the other one. We need slightly more ghee in this one because we're trying to really caramelize the onions. And you have to avoid this recipe for the next 15 days. You cannot just start on it from tomorrow.
Maybe a practice run.
Yeah, that you can do. I'm almost tempted to pour it from here, but
Go for it. Only in winter you can have this one.
yeah. This is not a recipe for all seasons.
My students wait for winter. This is when the party begins at Vedika.
This is for the first year students who have yet to experience it. And to this I'm going to add some hing.
Not that much.
Yeah, not that much. About this much. So what does hing do? It helps with Agni and the digestion process. So urad dal.
Hing? Hing? Can you smell it?
Yeah. For those of you who have not smelled asafoetida or hing.
It's very particles itself, they open the channels. We talked about channels. It's channel opening. Opening channels for you, CJ?
Yes.
Feel it, huh? So you need very micro quantity.
You need very, very little quantity of hing. absolutely micro quantity. I'm adding some cumin seeds to it. And this is chopped onion. Keep in mind when you put the seeds in it, they should start to pop a little or become fragrant before you add anything to it. And now this will slowly cook. If you want, a quick tip is if you add a little bit of salt to it and then cover, it cooks faster.
It sweats the onion.
Hmm?
It sweats the onion.
It sweats the onion, yes.
If you just caramelize the onion and you don't add the hing and you don't add the cumin, it will make the dal very heavy. But by adding this hing, you just digest it and you benefit from all its goodness. You smell it? Nice.
Yeah.
We get to taste it, yes.
The hing that I bought in the store is like a white, very fine powder, like baking soda. This is yellow.
No, it should not be white.
It should not be white.
We have to start selling hing.
Yeah, you have to get it from.
Well, I give you the reason for that. What they sell in the market usually has some wheat flour mixed in it because hing is so expensive. And wheat flour actually retains some of its qualities for longer time. So what you're smelling here is real hing.
So do we have a block that we can show them? Hing is like a tree resin. And if you're ever traveling to India, people buy gold, you should buy hing. If we have it, we'll pass it around and show you.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the store. There's some place in San Rafael that
Yeah.
sells good hing.
Which one?
I don't remember the name of the store.
Is that 4th Street?
Malabar?
No,
Malabar
yeah.
sells a real hing in the San Rafael.
Okay, so this is a broken down version of it. It's,
Can you pass it out maybe?
yeah,
Once a decade.
but it was a block about this big.
And you use
Nice.
the block in how much time at Vedika? Cooking for so many people.
Yeah, it probably took maybe 2 years or more.
2
2
years.
years.
As I said, you can never, you should not put too much of hing just because it's helpful.
And do you
in the-
remember Abhiji said that pungent may be a good taste? Hing is actually hot and pungent. Turmeric is bitter, this is pungent. So, very good.
So hot and pungent here and bitter in the turmeric, and dal is another by itself, and we've added salt. So you have 4 of the 5 tastes, or 4 of the 6 tastes here. Okay, so while this is happening, we will move on to the next recipe, which is,
Gas leak.
no, it is the next recipe is almond milk. So this is about one cup of almond that was soaked. We remove the skin. Manaswini, can you please grind this for me? And we're just going to, we're going to grind the almonds here.
So, hot cooked milk is very nourishing, and nuts in milk is very nourishing, especially almonds, walnuts. So, this is not just walnuts and milk, it's a special recipe.
Yeah, the spices that go into it. Did you all get to smell the?
Sorry.
This is not the
Should I
camp.
just take in the kitchen?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just put them.
Your life is needed.
So for this recipe, we need soaked almonds. Remove the skin from that, and I would say for 1 cup of almonds, you would need about 4 to 5 cups of milk, and you need ghee, sugar, saffron, maybe just a little bit of black pepper to make it easily digestible because almonds are heavy.
More pungent taste.
And we'll also add some green cardamom. Adding about 5-6 cardamom pods, seeds of cardamom pods here. You don't have to use the whole thing. What kind of?
How long do you suggest soaking almonds?
Ideally overnight, otherwise 2-3 hours should be okay as well. And these are our soaked almonds that have been grounded. That's what you can make a paste from. Oh yeah, whole milk, whole organic milk is what we recommend.
At Vedika, we make the effort to get our milk raw from a cow share. And maybe it's not legal to declare it to you, but we love our milk and this.
That's about a quart, right? A quart of milk.
Yeah, possibly. I think it's about 4 or 5 cups. The sound of pressure cooker. Wasn't the whole one. So, like all good things, we start with ghee.
Remember, if you're just making a cup, you'll be taking like
Yeah.
12 minutes. Just for a
This
large-
is 4 or 5 cups, so
Yeah.
this is
Large
not a
amount.
recipe or ratio for 1 cup of milk.
So would you say about 5 tablespoons of ghee? Have you put in a pot of milk?
Yeah. This is probably 5 or 6. And you reduce the heat of flame to low, otherwise you run the risk of burning the almond. So at this point, I'm going to add the crushed black pepper and cardamom. Also going to add a pinch of saffron. And then you add the grounded almond powder. Be a little careful not to burn it.
Can you smell it? When we were growing up in India, come winter, our mothers would start cooking this kind of milk for us.
This was called a chauka, a badam chauka. And then you add the milk.
This can be a breakfast by itself or a meal by itself. Don't mix it with fruit or honey. Just have it as it is. If you're very thin, you can add more sugar. If you're thin and you need that meat, add sugar.
You should never add salt with milk. You should not heat honey, which is why Shani said no honey in this. Fruits and milk should not be mixed. Never.
Number one cause of problems.
The only exception to that, the only exception to that is a sweet, ripe mango. That's about all you can mix to the milk.
How about banana?
No. No other fruit.
Weight gain.
Dates.
Dates would be okay, but
Sweet dates.
Sweet
dry.
dates should
They
be
come
okay.
under dry fruits. Dry fruits and milk we take. But citrus fruits, no banana.
Is that sugar? Is that
yeah,
sugar?
I'm adding sugar to it now.
So will that become like ama?
That will create ama.
It will create.
It's not, it's ama. Toxicity. So sugar is optional. We
I
are
would
kind
say
of in love with
recommended.
sugar and
So the milk is cooking. We'll just let it come to a boil, and then we'll be ready to sample it. The dal has been pressure cooked. The onions are cooking, getting there. Yeah, we'll give it the time as well. Any questions?
I don't understand the two whistles on your pressure cooker. Mine has a pressure valve and it doesn't whistle. It's like 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
Are you using the one with the pressure valve?
Yeah.
I would say about,
10
8
minutes.
to 10 minutes.
Okay.
On a cup of dal.
If it's soaked, and maybe a little more up to 12
If it's not soaked.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the best part is open the cooker
yeah.
and then put it back on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If it's not done, then you can add a little more water and put it back on.
This is true.
But if you want to buy the cooker with a whistle, it's a nice language of its own.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about anything. You hear it ring 3 times. Generally speaking, on any dal, you would let it run for 3 whistles and then you're done. In this case, because we were trying to keep the texture, we tried to do it with 2. We'll see how it works out.
Because Abhijit said that the night meal should not be heavy. As we transition into the season, we want to have urad dal more in the afternoon and less in the evening, unless we know we have a really great digestion. Otherwise, if you have a little bit of question mark, try it in the daytime. And do not sleep afterwards.
If you want, you can always step forward to see how it is progressing.
That might be a call to chaos.
Maybe not a good idea. Take it back. So this is how the onion is looking for now.
संजय कुछ
Maybe.
announcements करने हैं और आपको time है?
Maybe the next, we can do this announcement.
क्या बज रहा है?
4:45.
So we try to be very efficient with our time, even if we start a little late because of admissions today. We like to end on the dot. At 5 we will be eating what we have cooked inside and here, and also what all you have generously brought here. So thank you so much for coming, everybody. Are the students getting excited? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is what a typical day of Vedika looks like, except that you know everybody and this is a friendly warm and sharing community. I'm so happy that Hemaji Patankar has joined us. She's the president of our board of directors. Please, Hemaji, come. And she has a lot going on right now with her daughter's marriage and everything. And last of the relatives. But this Devi goddess is our very core team here. And Hemaji has been with me from its very inception. And Hemaji, would you like to say a few words? A lot of the people in the audience here are possibly the new, fresh students who are going to become part of the Vedika team.
Well, welcome. I hear you've been having a delicious day. And as I sat there thinking, I thought that's so much of what goes on at Vedika. It's not only that the food is delicious, but the after experience of eating the food is also delicious. And as many of us know from experience, sometimes that's not the case. But also the knowledge is delicious. The experience of incorporating things into our life, even the experience of letting go of things that you thought you couldn't live without. It's all quite delicious. And I thought I would just share one thing with you. Last night I had dinner with a young woman who is actually a client of our free clinic that is mainly run by our senior students. And I thought it would give you a glimpse of where studying here can go. Because I know many of you might be thinking, well, maybe I could just come and learn a little bit for myself. And that's great. But I should warn you, whatever you learn for yourself, people are going to ask you, what are you doing? What? I see some change in you. So then you'll find yourself wanting to share more and more. And I watched a number of students over the years who maybe just said, oh, I'm here just for 2 months, or I'm here for just a year, have gone on and really learned to become excellent health and wellness counselors. And now are going on to becoming Ayurvedic doctors. So anyway, this woman who had come for this health and wellness counseling, I saw her and she was looking great. And I said, oh, so it was about 6 months ago you came. She said, I have to tell you. So ever since coming to your clinic, she said, I've lost 30 pounds. But she said, but that's the least of it. And she needed to lose. She's not thin. But she said, it's not only that. She said, well, the guidance that I got from this Vedika clinic, which means, and in Vedika clinic, you're getting the knowledge sort of individualized of what the students are learning in class. She said, it's not only that I learned what to eat. So intellectually, it was very important to her. She said, it showed me a whole new relationship with food and a whole new relationship with my understanding of all around eating, and from an intellectual perspective, from an emotional perspective, from a spiritual perspective. And she said it's just such a huge experience, and her work is going better. She said, my health is better now, so I can sit for meditation. And I thought, gee, this is what somebody has got who has benefited from one of the students of Vedika. So, and I think, students become inspired to share, as I said, because so many people, I can look around the room at some of the long-term students, have experienced such beautiful transformation, not only in health, but it becomes a very holistic transformation. And this is really what Ayurveda has always been about. It's been a science to be lived, and I think that's why Vedika we've been very fortunate to receive a lot of support and encouragement and congratulations from some of the very senior people in Ayurveda in India, people who are aware of what should this tradition be, that Ayurveda is not just about, writing prescriptions for medicines. Yeah, of course, Ayurveda has wonderful, herbal medicines. That's just a small part of it. This woman I spoke with, she said, the only thing is I haven't gotten around to taking any of the herbs you suggested yet. I said, wow. If you ever do, you will benefit off the charts. And so I think it's about this personal feeling of regaining your own best health in body, mind, and spirit. And that's what keeps us so excited about sharing it with other people, sharing it in the community, and I look forward to being in your company more and more. And of course, we are all here if you have any questions, you know, practical to anything that comes to mind. Love to chat with you about it. So.
You know, Hemaji, myself, Sanjay, Abhijit, all of the core team, we are just enjoying the crop that we had planted 5 years ago in a small room, which has just grown and is yielding confident leadership and humble practitioners of Ayurveda. Such a story, and many such stories are coming forward, which is really gladdening us. And we are here, as Hemaji said. Thank you, Hemaji, so much.
Yeah, and I have to also welcome my old friend Kishore.
Oh.
We've known each other for so many years and walked and done so many auspicious things together. It makes me very happy to see you here.
Welcome to Hema's second home.
Thank you, Hemaji.
Thank you.
So while Hemaji was talking about all the benefits of Ayurveda and the Vedika community, the milk came to a boil. So I switched it off. The dal is cooked. You see how, what I was talking about, the texture, so we don't have to use too much water. Now, it's just a matter of coincidence that both the recipes are ready together. What do you want to taste first? Let's start with something sweet.
Because we always begin with sweet first,
In Ayurveda, we always
salty
start.
sour in the middle, and bitter and string in the last.
This one? Where's the sample cup is here, but I need the pitcher. Look how beautiful this onion is looking.
Can you tilt it a little bit?
Like this?
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Okay, you got it on the camera. Please retain your sample cups because the next thing is coming up. So if you remember, we added turmeric and salt to this already. Now what are we going to add on top? Ghee, onion, it had hing in it, it had cumin. So onions by themselves are pungent. But when you cook them in ghee, they become sweet. So this recipe goes excellent with chapatis
Or wheat tortillas, garlic
or wheat tortillas. If you don't have time to make chapatis, this can be a meal by itself because when you taste it, you'll realize how rich, nourishing, and heavy it is. So eat in moderation. Don't start until the next 15-20 days for 3 weeks. And any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. So this onion is cooked and I'm going to simply pour it.
Oh God.
The first round of the almond milk is coming up. Reepa, you will have to probably move the camera to the side a little bit.
Bring this to the camera.
Like
Bring
this.
it closer.
Oh, wait.
Did you get it?
This is for the World Wide Web, for people to benefit. This is our ghee, our Hemanta. Can you say Hemanta? Ritu. Ritu means season, and beginning now, November 15th to January 15th. Yeah, sorry. 2 months, we have Hemanta Ritu or this early winter season. So these are for sale here. So
Yeah,
in-
this Hemant spice I've used in my other urad dal recipe. This recipe is tended to be more sweet or sweeter in taste compared to the other one. But this spice blend has all the ingredients ready.
This is not available in Indian stores.
Yeah, this is a special
Medicinal
blend.
spice blend prepared by Sanjay ji using our textual classic books. You can
So-
even put it on toast, salad, etc.
You can put it on any vegetable that you cook. Or once it's cooked,
How are you
can just
liking
sprinkle
it,
on
those of
top
you?
of it.
Great.
Yeah.
Can we say Jai Ayurveda? Wonderful. And can we say Yay for Vedika? Yay! Alright. So in the 2-month course, we not only teach you one occasional sporadic cooking, but we teach you how to have a kitchen which is an Ayurvedic kitchen. And you will get to make spice boxes like this. You can customize them to what you need, and you can learn a lot of things that will make your kitchen convert into a healing space for you. And we hope that you will join us. How to strengthen our mission? We've had, are you a participant or are you a passerby? That's the question. Are you willing to make a change in the way health is perceived, delivered, and embodied? Or are you just willing to enjoy, eat, drink, and leave? So if you are a participant in global change, become a part of Vedika, come join me. I was alone and now there are many. And I went to my team members, Hema, Suhasini, Sanjay, Abhijit, Mahesh. They are with me and they will with me till I die. My students are becoming like that. And what are we committed to? We are committed to this Ayurveda becoming a global medicine. And how will it become? When more and more people know it authentically. That is why a lot of our information we are spreading with responsibility. And we hope you will become ambassadors of this knowledge. And it all begins with the 2-month course or the 1-year course. We really hope you will join. And apart from that, we'll just keep seeing you at the Sangha here. I want to thank my father, wherever he is. I want to thank Abhijit ji for your continued grace and scientific accuracy. Thank you, Hema ji. Thank you, Sanjay ji. Thank you, Manaswini, Mahi, everybody who have been leading everything. I want to thank Tracy, my busy student, juggling many things from her own professional life, work life, home life, to the microphone on her teacher's sari, to coordinating this entire Sangha. I want to bless Amba for leading our clinic Seva movement. I want to bless all my students who are working hard. God bless you, Jude. She moved across East Coast to move here and be our student here. And then she is now holding and anchoring the admissions post. So come here, join the movement, and thank you so much. Enjoy the food. We always end with a prayer. Richard, we love seeing you, our herb guy. Thank you in the green kurta. If you ever want to buy fresh herbs. Prakash and Shruti, lovely to have you here. Thank you. Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. True peace is health. Jai Ma. Let us eat.
One thing I wanted to say on the spice box, it looks similar, but it keeps changing with the season because
Yes.
the spice mix will change. So how is the almond milk?
Loved it?
Okay, the next one is coming up for you guys. Stay wherever you are.
In the same cup maybe.